This is a UFO that was observed for 22 minutes near the International Space Station. I think it was in 2020 or before. The object is of a shape and size that is not recognizable as any known rocket or capsule, and appears to move in a straight line upward and disappear. It could be an alien spaceship, a secret US Air Force stealth device, or some new type of technology, but it is something peculiar. The NASA camera zooms in on the object, but the crew members seem unaware of it or do not mention it much, although the object is described as being pyramid or hive-shaped.
There's a very senior Australian politician who called me out of the blue. And he was walking out of a government building in central CBD Sydney with his press secretary. And he rang me and told me this story. And he said that as he was standing at the steps, waiting for the ministerial car to come and pick him up, he looked up and he couldn't believe everybody else in the entire area, thousands of people at lunchtime walking through this very public area. He couldn't believe that they couldn't see what he was seeing. And he looked at his press secretary and he couldn't see it either. But when he looked up, he told me, and he said, "Ross, I would deny this if you ever went public with this and said who I am." And it would blow people away in Australia to know who this guy was, because he's a very senior politician in his day. And he told me he saw an elliptical, polished aluminium metallic surface disc hovering in the square within probably 100 meters of his eyesight. And what he realized was that it was showing itself to him. It was like it was twigging his consciousness. And interestingly, his portfolio was very relevant. The area of responsibility he had as a government official was very relevant to that particular subject matter. And he had the feeling, he wanted me to know about it, and he had the feeling that whatever it was, it had twigged his perception. And when I said to him, "Do you think it was real?" And he said, "Look, I do think it was real." But he said, whatever it was, it had the capacity to alter the perception of myself so that I could see it, whereas everybody else couldn't see it. And he said,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I guess I tell you that story because I've learned to be very, very skeptical up front with people who make categorical assertions about what they see, because let's be brutally honest about it. The phenomenon's a trickster. It plays with us sometimes. It seems to enjoy showing itself to some people, but not to others.